joining us tonight in the Sugar and Crumbs kitchen. Really pleased that you're here. So start shouting out your hellos, and John will shout some hellos back shortly. So first I just want to say a big welcome back to Marion from Patchwork Cutters. She was here just before Christmas, did an absolutely amazing demo, and you loved all the fabulous things that she did. You asked if she could come back, and she's here. Now, in fairness, Marion is very poorly, okay? Like us all, I've managed to avoid it. Marion's got a viral infection. So anybody who's new to our kitchen, do not worry. Marion is decorating on dummy cakes. These cakes are not for sale for anybody. So if anybody jumps in through the live feed and says, why is that woman coughing her guts up? Well, she's poorly. Don't start coughing now. So I did say she could cancel, but a proper professional she is. She said, no, she's not letting her side down. She's here for you tonight. So she's going to do an amazing demo. She's got lots of things to show you. So just a few little catch-ups for in the week. I'm here on Thursday morning, and I am making a lemon drizzle cake for you guys, and I'm also going to make something. Well, Maria's put up that I'm doing cupcakes, which I did tell her that I'm doing cupcakes, but I might change it to something else with the gin and tonic and the Prosecco flavours. So while I mention that first, if there's any newbies, okay, this deal is on. It's on all the way through March. This is a two for £4 deal. So you've got your gin and tonic, your Prosecco, natural flavoured icing sugars, okay? There's no alcohol in them. That's sad, isn't it? It's great for me because I don't drink alcohol. But anyhow, so you can have these. They are delicious. So I don't know who's tried them yet. They have been selling like hotcakes. So 2 for £4, the link's on the website. And then over here, we've still got this amazing bundle on. So is John going to come over here a moment? So John's going to come over here. So we've got this amazing bundle on, eight tasters they are. So in here you've got your banana split, sherbet, key lime, gingerbread, orange zest, blueberry, pineapple and Turkish delight. And that's 8 flavours for £16. So they're a fabulous deal. That's £2 each a bag. You want to make them. You can make those gorgeous marshmallows with those. Fantastic cupcakes with those. Blueberry friands or blueberry muffins. The orange zest is amazing on top of a chocolate cake. The gingerbread is great for making shortbread biscuits. Key lime, make yourself a cheesecake. It's amazing. Sherbet, the kids absolutely love sherbet as a flavour. And banana split is delicious. So give those a go. Mini cupcake cases, we've got those in stock, and we've got the bigger ones as well. So I meant to tell you, so the mini foils are in at 500 per pack for the mini foils. And we also do the larger foils as well, so they're a great price at the moment. Water pens are back in stock. And I don't know what else to show you. And everything that Marion is going to show you tonight is actually in stock. So you can actually buy it all tonight, yeah? So Marion's going to be using the Colour Splash colours, the powder dust. And just had to laugh before because she had lovely, nice, clean, white hands before she started the live. So before she started the live, she had lovely, nice, white, clean hands. Now show what you got.
Well, they're not too bad now. We've scrubbed and scrubbed and scrubbed, so it shows how strong the colours are. Anyway.
She said, freaking hell, Carol, those colours are really strong. I've got green hands. So God bless her. Anyhow, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to the computer over here. Okay. We've got to get Marion used to this system now, so it's all technical since she was here. She doesn't know where to look with all these cameras, so she knows that she's over here. So now and again we're going to be doing some hand signals and waving away to which camera she should be at. So I'm going to go over there, start shouting out some questions and some hellos. Or are you going to shout out the hellos, John? No? Okay, oh no, send them to me. And if there's anyone from Marion's page or knows Marion personally, let us know. Any newbies, give us a shout, let us know. Oh, just one thing. So with the snow last week, deliveries have been delayed. All our own deliveries into us has been delayed. All our couriers have been delayed going out. So everybody who's not yet received their deliveries, the couriers are working as fast as they can. It's been really bad in quite most of the UK. I know some of you missed it, not many of you. So do bear in mind that these poor guys are out on the road. It's been a terrible time for them. And as far as I know, everybody is catching up, but there is a big delay. I know like our stuff that was going into the big warehouses, we're 3 days behind because our couriers couldn't even leave their local area where they were. So There you go. So I'm going to hand you over to Marion.
Lovely,
Yeah,
thank you very
fantastic.
much. Thank you. Well, thrilled to be back, and I've got quite a few things to show you this evening. As Carol said, I have got a bit of a cough and a cold, so if I have a little coughing session, you have to excuse me, but as we said, nothing is going to be eaten. It's all just on dummies and test pieces. And I'm going to start off with our little bunny set. Now this cake here, great for Easter, and you don't have to trim your cake flat. All you need to do is keep it down for this one. And I do a lot of texturing on cakes with this, which is a pot scrubber. Now it's round, which is great, because when you press into icing, with a long one, you'd get sort of strips of embossing. So with the round one, it just covers it really nicely. So I would go over that first of all, and the whole thing really, very simple to do, circles for windows. But the roof, I'm just going to show you how I do that before I cut out the bunny. We'll pop that to one side. And I'm just going to take some flour paste, or you could do a half and half mix, half flour paste, half sugar paste. And if I'm going to do a small piece of this, just want tiny bits, I'm going to use the grass. I use the small sieve, but if it's going to be a large piece covered for the roof, I use a larger sieve, obviously, and I'm just going to pinch that out, and then I just push that through the sieve. Okay, can you see that? Just keep going, work it through, and then with your knife, small knife, you can just cut away from the top there, and then you can pile it up on top of the cake as I've done over there. Now if you ask for very thin, if you want it thicker than that, then don't spread it out quite so much. You would take a smaller piece and just push it through that one area, so that you're going over and over that one area, and that will give you a slightly thicker piece of paste. So it's great for grass or mossy rooftops. Okay, so I'm just going to get rid of that.
I'm just going to shout out a few hellos and a few comments. So a few hellos to people that we already know. So I'm not going to shout out surnames. So we've got Vanda, Rena, Kelda, Iris. Hi Jenny, hello Joanne. We've got Robert Allen as usual. Thank you Robert. Helen, Kathy. Kathy's birthday today. Hi Kathy, so glad you could make it. Bless her. She said she was going out for an early tea, so she could be back for 8 o'clock.
Oh,
So hi Lindsay, Annika, Julie Compton, hello, says hello to everyone. Lorna Stephen, she's got a pack of R8 last week, can't wait to try them. Sarah, evening, made it from the beginning. And she's making her way through the icing sugars. Let's see, who else there? Martin Dursley from Doncaster. Deb Rabbit says, can we see your face one day, John? He does exist though, doesn't he, Marion?
Are you sure? You should be able to do that.
Can we see his face? So, let's see what we've got here.
I'm best down in the background.
So Julie Smith says, welcome back,
Can't compete with these two women.
Julie Smith says, Marion, welcome back, nice to have you back.
Thank you.
Vanda Baker said she spent a fortune last time you was on.
All right,
So
okay.
there's loads
I
of
hope you used them.
Loads of people here. Julie Lowther, Pam Rogerson, Deborah Bickerton, Anne Davidson. So hello everybody. So I'm going to let Marion get back to her demo.
Okay, right. So I've taken the rabbit and the two little arms out of the pack, and a little piece of green to make the grass. So I'll just show you a few of the little bits on here. So first of all, I'm putting a little bit of Trex. Now it doesn't have to be Trex. It can be petal base that you can use, but as long as it's a vegetable fat, not an animal fat. So roll out your paste. I'm using the Squire's Kitchen, the flour modelling paste. But if you have a favourite, then stick with that. And I'm just rolling this. Roll it nice and thin. The most important thing when you're working with patchwork cutters, don't lift your paste up and down. You want that to stick to your board. So roll it thin, and then I'm going to take the cutter. Now I'm putting some of the keep saying Trex, but it's vegetable shortening. I think they call it Crisco in the States. And place that on, press, and flip that away, and peel that away.
Kat Riley says they did see John till we got the new camera system.
Especially me nose or something. Not sure what that means.
He used to actually accidentally flick it back on himself, so he ended up seeing up his nose or something.
Oh yeah, that's what she means.
How lovely.
Yeah.
Never to be forgotten. I'm just going to slide this piece of thick paper thin card. I'm going to put the rabbit on there. And I'm going to cut out two arms. So in the pack you do get a left and a right facing arm. If you ever lose one, then just cut two the same and turn one over. Get all sorts in this. You get carrots and flowers. Okay, so I'm going to pop on again a little grease. You don't need too much on there.
Kelda says, is it her monitor or is the overhead camera very bright tonight? Looks alright on my computer.
It is a bit. I think the red board's quite.
Oh, I think it's a red board.
Yes,
it's quite glossy.
that is my fault because I forgot to bring my green board, which was a great start when I set up, when I realised.
Listen, somebody would forget something every week.
Well, this is it. It's not something I can put in my pocket, is it?
I usually have to make a mad dash for something.
Yeah. Right, so get rid of those. Now the grass, I'll just cut one of those out before I colour the rabbit. So you do get the grass and flowers and all sorts of things, but the grass is slightly different. So I'm just going to, again, Trex over and roll that out. Now, there's two ways of doing it. You can either Trex that, put it down and give it a bit of a shimmy, only because the edges of the grass is very detailed and it just saves separating it out with a cocktail stick, or you can do it that way and twist it over. And I'm just going to pop that out of there.
I don't think none of them have seen a red board before. It's always on a green board.
I know,
so it's a bit bright. Some of you might have to turn down your brightness, but having said that, some of you are saying you're having no problems. Looks absolutely fine on my computer. Lindsay says it looks fine on hers. So you may just have to turn down your brightness a bit.
Let's get that little spot off his leg. That's it. Oop, where did that go?
What have you lost? The grass cutter.
That's just shot off the piece. It's all very hygienic, isn't it? Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to paint in the rabbit, and I'm going to use isopropyl alcohol when I paint, and I'm going to use a pink. Now I always mix in the lid so that when the alcohol evaporates away, then I've got the floor director saying, move it. Okay, so when the alcohol evaporates away, what's in the lid goes back to a dust, and then you don't waste any of your colour. And I'm just going to paint in the inside of the ears. Okay.
There's a lot of people who like the red. They're saying they can see everything clearly. In fairness, I can see everything clearly.
I'm just going to do a pink tummy as well, so this will be peach or
A
whatever.
lot of people saying they're not having any problems.
Okay.
Lynn Burgess says she loves your patchwork cutters. She's got a drawer just for them and it's full.
Oh, lovely. Oh, and I'll put a little pink nose on. Okay, so just turn this round so that you can see. Okay, and then I just need to get a brown. I should have brought a brown colour over, a dust colour. So,
Oh.
okay. Bound to be one there, you've got so many. Oh, that's bramble. Have you got a brown?
Is that bramble or not brown?
No, that's purple, isn't it?
Let me have a look. go next door and get one. Can you paint something else while I go and find one?
Yeah, that's fine. So then, with the little green piece on here, I'm going to pop that onto a piece of laminated paper. So any painting that I do that's going to go over the edge, I like to put it on a piece of laminated paper so that I can wipe it down when I've finished and just reuse it. Okay, so I'll go with a darker green, which is the leaf green. And I've used a little of the kiwi green in the paste to make that shade. And then I'm just going to make that a little thicker. Okay, so I'm just painting a few lines of darker green along there. And then when that's left to dry, you can attach them directly on the cake, or you can place a little ball of sugar paste behind. And then if I can just lift this to show you, if you look at the green around the base of the cake, there's two layers there. Yeah, there's 2 layers of the grass. It just gives a little bit 3D effect on there. Okay, so the little paws on this. I'm just going to touch with water. So you would decide what the rabbit is doing. So if he's got his arm up in the air, he would be like that, be waving, or he could be thumbs always in. Ooh. Be holding an egg. I think that one needs to go up there. And that one needs to go down there. Do you know what? I might just have both down. And he can hold flowers or an egg. So he's like that. So I just need to paint in the detail on there. So I should have had the brown here ready. So I do apologise about that. I will just say, in the set you do get 2 different size egg cutters as well. So on this one I've painted a little pattern around the side, put egg hunt, painted stripy patterns on there. And again, you can build that up. They're like a little scene around the cake there for Easter. And on the top of it here, I have just done a sausage of paste and put a cocktail stick inside, so that when it's dried, I can just add a little top, and that's my chimney, and that can be pushed into the cake. I can't remember where I took it from now, but it'll go in there. So it's all very simple, but quite effective, especially if you've got a school party or an Easter theme party. Then everyone can have a little bit of egg off the cake and a slice of cake after. Right, so I don't know how to do an aubergine. See if I can use a different colour on him. Let me see what we've got here. I'll go with the black. Well, bramble. So again, put a little bit of so I'm going to just paint in an eye, but this would normally be black or brown, not purple or bramble, posh name. Just tap that in until you're happy with the size there. And then if you make this really quite runny, take the excess off there, then it's usually quite easy to just bring the brush around the outside edge just to outline the eye. Oops.
In my palettes I find brown, I can't find any.
So I've done it.
Blossom.
It's okay.
Brown.
I've done it in brown. I've done it in brown.
After all that.
Yeah. Right, so I just need to remove a little bit of that. It's just a bit of a mess. If that happens, if you find that you have gone a little bit gone over the edge there, then just use
I'll
it.
tell you, he looks good, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's got a black eye at the moment, so just don't be afraid to wipe that off.
You could use the cotton wool, but with rejuvenate on it, can't you?
You can, perfect. Okay, so he's like that, and then also, yeah, but that's that Nutchin brown's perfect.
Just
That's
make
nice,
its way a little
nice.
bit mine. That's it. Perfect.
Okay.
Jackie Richards says the colours really bring him to life.
Yes, and also if you were doing, say, a brown rabbit, a light brown rabbit, then you would brush a darker shade around the outside edge just to highlight any shapes on there. But because he's white, I won't dust anything else on him. So then you would leave him for about 10 minutes and then slide him off and then place him onto the front of your cake like that. There he is there. When he's firmed up. Okay, so I've just found an egg. I've gained an egg.
As long as you didn't drop an egg, we're fine.
That wouldn't surprise me today. Okay, so
That looks so good, that's lovely.
really cute. Now what you can do, I don't know if this has started to dry. If you wanted a lop-eared rabbit, then you would, oops, it has started to dry too much, but you can bend the ears round. You need to do that straight away though, because it has started to firm off a little bit. It's quite warm in here. But you can bring the ears round, and also if it was for a baby rabbit, take a little of the white paint there.
Next time you go to show something in the camera, Marion, just stop and make sure you're right in the view. You missed it on that cake. So if you
Oh,
put
okay,
that
I'll
cake
bring
again,
it back, yeah.
so you can show them.
Yeah.
You only got to see the bottom half.
Okay,
So you could, if you want, view it to this camera, and then you don't have to sit at an angle.
okay. Right, so what I'm going to do with this one is just lightly press around there, and then I can cut across there and say halfway up the tummy. So I've got that middle bit. And I'm going to turn that over. Might have to do that again actually. So a little bit tracks on there. Okay, so roll this out. And just move that out of the way. So I'm not pressing heavily, I'm going to cut round with a knife. This is just to get the shape.
Right, just before you do that,
Yeah,
push him further up.
yeah.
You're, not him. Yeah,
This.
yeah, before you cut it.
I can't, it's stuck down.
We're in shot. We are in shot.
We are in shot.
Yeah.
Is it worth moving that camera?
Yeah.
Because it's very difficult when you sugar paste into stretch.
Yeah, I can move that up down so you want to.
When you don't have to stretch yourself then.
I'm frightened of
No, that's it.
working
Yeah,
into
don't
that
worry.
one. Okay,
He's got you in.
okay. So I'm taking, so I've cut across the feet, down the side, so I'm making like a little nappy. And then I'm going to turn that over, bring the rabbit back in shot, and just use water.
Why did we not think of that? Irish shutters were said. Red and green makes brown. As I've just been on a marathon hunt
I
looking
haven't
for
got
brown.
red either. Oh, yeah. Okay, so that you can have a little nappy on, and then if you rub a little Trex on there and sprinkle it with something like a ground up magic sparkle, then you get a really nice textured nappy. So that gives you a sparkly nappy. So a bit of Trex on there, grind magic sparkle. Otherwise, just go over with white satin. Just make it nice and shiny. Makes it a little bit different. So if you wanted to use it for a little one's birthday or something like that, it doesn't have to be for Easter. And you do get the 2 eggs, as I say, but if you turned it upside over and had the narrow side down, it makes a balloon. So you can do a string and then up to a balloon with, say, 1 in there or a little name written in there. So you can use it for little birthdays as well. I did this on a project on our website last year, and I made oval Easter egg shaped cookies, iced them, embossed them, and painted this in. So I didn't actually have to cut paste out at all. It was just painting in the outline.
John's too busy scoffing blueberries. He hadn't realised you was talking to the audience there. John, you're going to be getting a sack. I know you want a sack.
Right, so I'm just going to move that out of the way now. Do you want me to move that cake back in so that you can see?
Yeah, just pull it in over to this one here so they can see what you did.
Okay.
So if you come into this camera there, super.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I've so the rabbit, when it's dried, you can pop that onto the side of the cake. These are all the little pieces of grass I've cut out. Grey paste, just mark it as a one full piece, then half a piece. Mark it off to make it look like little steps. Really basic, simple cake to do, but kids love it.
Yeah, it's lovely that.
Okay, so I'm just going to move that over there, out of the way. And then I'm going to do our flamingos. Now, this is a cutter that I brought out probably 15 years ago, if not more. And it's our swan set. Just clearing away the mess. Right. Where did I put it before I had that paper? I'm not the tidiest of workers, so I do have to try. People who know me know how true that is. Right. So this is our swan set. And when flamingos became very popular, I thought, that's just a swan with long legs. So in the set you get a left and a right facing swan. Now when you put two swans together, it makes a perfect heart, by the way, from the beak, in between the beaks. So we have all these different sizes, left and right, and then little tiny, tiny ones. This is nice for embossing around the board, if you were going to do a swan cake. And I'm just going to do this one here. I did have one on the side of the cake, but Carol made me take it off. So there might be a bit of a wet mark on the cake. Don't blame me, Carol.
If you can show them how to put it on, Marion.
Yes, I know, you're right. You're perfectly right, you are. Right, so I'm going to keep that on as well. I'll be doing that one in a moment, show you something else. And I'll put these back. In the back. So I'm going to use pink flour paste. And I'm going to just add some of the splash colour to it. Some people use the paste colours, but I tend to just use dust colours. As I did before with the green, found my fingers went green, but they are very strong, so that's good. So work that through. And of course, flamingos do come in all sorts of shades, don't they? So
yeah.
You can go with whatever.
I did a flamingo cake with buttercream the other week.
Oh, fast.
Somebody said I had my legs the wrong way round, but I didn't think it mattered which way he was walking.
They sort of bend the opposite way to what you think, don't they?
Do they? I have no idea.
Like a number 4. I was
So
always...
I decided each flamingo was having a different style of legs.
I know when I was at college many, many years ago, my tutor then, Brian Colley, bless him, is no longer with us, but he used to make us pressure pipe, loads of swans, loads of flamingo, well, storks we were doing then, and he always used to say the back leg, the bent leg goes to the back and then forward, so
Right.
I'm only going by what he said. I'll have to go to Chester soon, that one.
Well, anyhow, the cake got eaten, they thoroughly enjoyed it.
Well, I'm sure they did, I'm sure they did. Okay, so I'm going to roll out flour paste. Okay, so take one of the swans and just press around the outside edge.
Gillian Sansom said he was a push me, pull you flamingo. Thanks, Gillian. Tracy Hannaford, did I miss where you get the cutters? You can buy all the cutters on our website. They're called Patchwork Cutters. I think Maria's put the link on. Yeah. So she's put the link for all the Patchwork Cutters on there. I know some of you were asking about the brushes. They are on our website. Just have a look in Sugarcraft Accessories.
Right, so I'm just going to trim, if you can see, can you see that all right?
Yep,
Something.
yep.
I'm just going to trim the top
Yeah,
two
you're fine
pointy-
now, we've got you zoomed in.
Okay, top two pointy wings off there. And because the flamingo has a much larger beak, I'm just going to pull that beak away. And then the tail, just coax that down. So that's the basic shape of the flamingo. So I'm going to put that.
Now Joe Fitchett says they bend the same as your arm. So they don't bend like your knee going back, they bend that way, same as your arm.
Yeah.
Alright, yeah. Some clever people here, isn't there? I've never
Yeah.
studied the flamingo that much.
Yeah.
I've learned a lot about them.
Well, there you go. Me too. Right, so then I would leave that to firm up. You can dust them over if you want a brighter paint or whatever. Place them onto the dusting sheet, which is the laminated paper, and brush them over that way. And then leave it for about 10 minutes. I'm going to try and put this one on now, onto my marked cake. So turn it over, and I'm going to put some water on the back. Now, although I've got a water brush, I still dip it, and I know it sort of defeats the object, but I find that if I have water in there and I squeeze, I just get a big blob. I think I'm a bit heavy-handed, so although it's a water brush, I still dip it into water. I don't fill it with water. Right, so I'm now going to just bring this.
So Emily Richens says, do you only use flour paste with the cutters?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I never
Can you
use.
explain why?
I never use half and half mixes or sugar paste with Tylo or gum dragon. If they're just too soft, you need to have something that has got a little bit of firmness about it. Right, so I'm just going to pop that into my little bag, and I need to bring this cake over here. Excuse me.
This one?
Yeah, thank you. I'll just pop it onto there. This is not as heavy as the rabbit. Okay, so this is the mark that we have on here.
I'm going to be out bird watching soon.
Yeah.
Susan Tyrrell says she thinks all the birds' knees bend backwards.
Oh, right,
I have to
okay.
start studying and having a
Yeah.
look.
Right, now if you've
I
left
think
this...
John's about to make a sarky comment about my bird thing in the garden.
Well, anybody who buys 25 kilograms of bird seed,
I'm not even going to go
has
there.
certainly got something about birds.
25 kilos of bird seed.
Oh my god, I'm the fattest
I
robin
wasn't
that's going.
thinking, I thought it said, I'm sure I must have thought it said 2.5.
I bet they love you. Right, so this goes on much easier if it's just you just leave it for about 10 minutes just to firm up. Okay.
And you,
So-
have you plonked that on now?
I
Yeah.
have. I plonked it
Alright.
on.
Yeah. Did they see?
That's a technical term. Plonked it on. So you can see when if you do dust them, it brings up the colour. So I'm going to add a little beak and the legs. Now these I've piped with a little royal icing, but on the other ones I'm going to roll out a small piece of grey paste. On this one, this is nice for Mother's Day. So
After all
you
that,
still
John
got
missed it.
you've still got a bit of time. This little one here, the baby flamingo is always white, which I didn't know until I saw one in the nest. Not, a picture of one with orange legs. So that's the baby one. That's nice for Mother's Day. This one, I'm absolutely bursting to put a little bit of tulle on that one and a bit of a sash to say, here come the girls, so like a hen night type thing. Right, so I'll just put what you have to do with the beak on that. Is that all right there, if I leave it there?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I never knew that they were white, the baby flamingo.
Oh no, I didn't either, I looked it up.
Lynn Squirrels is laughing at my 25 kilos.
I know, and the fattest Fat as
I've
robins and the whole
got
wide
four
world.
birdseed fillers out there. And they've only had one set of feeding so far. That was without the big barrel of fat balls I bought.
Right, so a small piece of white paste, and I'm going to, can you see that? What I'm doing? Yeah, okay. So roll that down into
Let me just ask you a question. Julie Crompton says, will the sugar paste be too hard to eat when you cut the cake?
the flour paste, you mean?
Yeah, the flour paste.
The flour paste always dries hard,
Yeah.
but so does, just like royal icing.
Yeah,
So if you did run outs, it would be the same.
yeah,
You know, it does, because it's so thin,
yeah.
it's crisp rather than if it was tree ball mint thickness, you know, the thick mints, then it's break your teeth time. But because it's so thin, it's just crisp to eat, so no problem. Right, so roll that down. I press it, thin it out because it's going on the side of the cake, and I'm just going to cut a little bit away there. Just done that a little bit too big. And then I'm going to pull and bend that beak over. So you can see, it's stuck on my finger. Can you see that? Yeah? Yeah. So I'm going to attach that onto my, he's got his head down. A little bit of water there.
Can you just turn that round to that camera?
Can, yeah.
Please.
Okay, so that is
Yeah, back.
like so. Okay? Yeah.
Are you going to put another one on so they can see you do it?
Well, I can. I'll have to stand
This is
up.
where you have to
so-
stand up and overlook.
Yeah.
Ray will have to come round here.
Okay.
It's hard
So
to
I can
see
put it
how-
on like
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
as long as you're. Alright?
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to paint a little tiny spot of black.
That's the only thing when you're showing it to a camera, you can't see
I know,
when it comes to you.
yeah. I know. You're working upside down and back to front. I'm doing a shoot at the moment and I'm constantly saying it's not straight because I'm working over the cake. Right, so if I get that
Yeah.
far, is that alright?
No, Maria,
Okay.
anyway.
So I'm just going to paint across there. Just got to be a bit careful. And then there's a little dot there where you paint the eye. So you need to just rest your hand.
Oh, Calder says, did you know the yolk of a flamingo egg is pink?
Really?
Yeah. So yeah, we're getting to know our bird
Tell you
knowledge.
what, yeah.
Eh? It's not
It's got-
about just being live at Sugar and Crumbs, it's informative, isn't it?
I
Eh?
know, it's like going down the nature trail.
Is
this.
it forming part of the school curriculum soon?
Yeah. The line going that way on the beak is a little bit heavy on there, but it's meant to be just a flick, like these.
I'll be able to tell the grandkids I think I'm ever so clever.
Yeah. Especially if you go to crack one. Pink. Oh no, you wouldn't, would you? Right, okay.
Be a big egg to
So
crack.
I've got be a big plate. Right. So for the legs then, as I say, you can pipe it, and I would use a tube nozzle, or you can, if you haven't got any royal icing, then just roll out a thin piece of flour paste. So I'm rolling out on tracks so that I can roll it nice and thin. Keep going. You don't want hefty legs; they're very spindly legs. Right. And then just use water so it's straight down. And you can attach the leg. do have to have this in front of me.
Pardon?
I do have to have this in front of me.
Is this for his legs?
Yeah. Okay, so you've got that one, and then the other one will go the opposite way. Now, when you do this one, don't have it too long. It does want to look as though
Right.
if the legs are straight. Let me just cut that off there. That they would both be the same length. So if you go too long here, too low down, it just looks at when the legs are put, you know, standing up on two legs. One would be absolutely twice as long as the other. Okay, so pop that off and just lift that up. It's easier to pipe it. Just push it up, give it a little pinch there, sharpen that off a bit, and then you can just bend the foot part around. So sorry if you're not catching this.
Are you catching this, John?
There. So you've got the legs on there. I wasn't actually going to put it in the cake. I was just going to do it there. You see, so you go off on that.
No, you've got to show how it's done, Marion.
Yeah.
The only thing is that I've not quite caught the angle of it done yet, because it's more facing you.
You have caught the what? The
That's
angle.
right.
Hold on, just wipe that little bit of pink off there. Okay. Yeah. So the greenery that's around here, I just literally get 2 shades of green. And it's all very loose. And my isopropyl alcohol, which is there. Okay. And so I would just go in with just literally draw in some leaf shapes. You got it?
Yeah. I'm just trying to make sure you can get on it, because I'm 30 seconds behind watching it on the live.
Okay.
I'm not getting to see what you're doing.
Right, okay. Right, so I'll just do a few so that you get the idea. Then change the colour. So I'm changing to the kiwi that's there. Oh,
This one?
yeah. Thank you. So I'm just going to get a different sort of shade in there. And then I would just, now normally I have a pen which is in black, but I haven't got it with me. But it's a pen like this, and then
Is it
I,
that one then?
which one?
Is that it? Where was it? Did you have it here before?
No.
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 Oh, right.
So I usually do this sort of thing in black. So you could paint them on if you wanted to.
Do you want a darker green for it instead?
No, it definitely needs a black. I'll use a little bit. Just put a little bit of that on there.
I've got black powder.
I'll see if this works first. I'm only doing this tiny bit. That'll do.
amazing that you can put those squiggles on, and then when you start to do the outline, it pulls together, doesn't it?
Yeah, it starts looking like a leaf, and the ones that I'm going to cut out now, so I'm only doing a little bit just to give you the idea. And I'll go over that because it certainly wouldn't be a red edged leaf. Anyway. And then I've got the flowers are out of the Fantasy Flower set. Okay. So you can see how fine you get the lines with the actual pen. It's much easier.
So Karen Naylor's saying this is where she struggles, she can't draw. But it's amazing when you paint it on, you don't need to be able to draw, do you?
No, you don't, and that's just...
So
Karen.
Karen, yeah, who's
Hi,
there on
Karen.
Sunday.
Hi,
Because
Karen.
I keep meaning that I want to show them how to do little roses. They're so easy to do the little roses on sugar paste.
Oh, yeah.
And
Well, it is if you can draw.
yeah, then make a little blob and square it around.
Right, so let me just move that for a minute while I cut out some of the flowers. So out of the Fantasy Flower set, let me find those. There they are. So out of this set, I'm going to use part of that cutter for the leaves and that one for the little flowers. But you've got so many in there to choose from, you can do all sorts of things with those. So I'm going to take a little of the yellow flower paste.
Wendy Preston says she thinks that she'll paint the legs on. Her fat fingers can't work with such thin paste. I must admit, I would have to agree with Wendy.
Do you know what? I've got fat fingers though. My fingers, oh look,
You did well there.
look, I've got really sausage fingers.
You did well there, but I think I would be inclined to either paint them on or do the piping with the royal icing.
Piping's easier. If you
Yeah.
paint them on, you've got to be so careful that you
Yeah.
get them straight. But if you're good at painting, then yeah, that's great. I'm not. So anyway, so for these little flowers that's on there, just going to cut out a couple.
So let me just shout out to Helen Brown. Hello, I'm late again. Is this something I should be doing so that I get a prompt for the demos? Laugh out loud. Hope everyone's well and happy this fine evening. Well, Helen, you could set your alarm weekly for 5 to 8. After the demo finishes, I think it does ask you if you want to follow, and then it should prompt you then each week. But maybe everybody else can tell you. I'm not really sure, but maybe everybody else can tell you how they get to know.
Cut another one out. Right, so I'm just going to take a couple of these little flowers. I'll roll out the paste. Is that in shot? Put it up there.
Yeah,
Better.
you're sure.
Okay, and then I'm going to cut out one of those. And then you can use the small end of your bone tool just to widen and lengthen. So you just bring that out. Like so. And then just put it onto a piece of sponge is ideal. Just get those off there. Oh, yellow on yellow, sorry about that. I just press that down. I could press on the pink, but it's not soft enough if I try to press on that. So that cups it. And then all you need to do, you can either leave them to dry or just moisten the cake and attach them on there. Shall I do that? I'll cut out some leaves before I bring the cake back. So this one, a little bit of green paste. This is kiwi colour. Quite nice, isn't it? Very tropical. Again, a little bit of the Trex. So I'm just going to widen this. And I'm going to cut out, well, you can cut out the whole flower, but then I'm going to cut that into two. Remove that.
Julie gets a little buzz when we go live.
Okay, so cut that into two. I'm going to pop that onto my sponge pad. And then just stroke the petal and then widen with the heel. So you can see the difference in shape there now. Yeah. So you lengthen, widen, just bring it to a point, lengthen, widen, and then with the Dresden tool, down the centre, each one. So you're just making a little group of 3 leaves.
It's good how versatile you make the cutters, isn't it? See, I would just only use that to make a flower.
You use it to make a flower, yeah. I actually wire these as well. I put a little bit of
Yeah.
paste on the back of wires,
Yeah.
and then I put those into little sprays. I'm just wondering if I've got one in the other box. I can show you later.
Kat Riley says all her family knows now that she watches us on a Monday. Her mum doesn't call her, the children go to bed, and the hubby knows to go and play on his computer.
Right, so
That's
then,
all right.
sorry, no. So then you would attach the leaves, the cut out leaves, sort of every so often on here, maybe in the corner.
It's quite interesting. Elaine Lawson marks dates on her calendar. Elaine all came home and they switched on a tablet and there we were. Natasha Williams, the days that we're live every Monday at 8 p.m. On a Monday we tend to have people in demoing their products, and then on a Thursday we do a baking session on a Thursday. So on a Thursday morning at 11 a.m. we bake something, usually, you know, using our sugar and crumbs flavoured icing sugars. So it's 8 o'clock Mondays, 8 p.m. and Thursdays 11 a.m. Well done everyone for saying.
And then into the centre you can pipe a little icing, or you can put a tiny ball of paste. And then into that a couple of stains.
Gives it that nice 3D effect, that, doesn't it?
Yeah, it just brings it out a little
Yeah.
bit, doesn't it? So can I just pop in to get some stains tiled? So I've used 3 sort of red ones in the on the other sides of the cake. Cut them short. If you've got tweezers, then use your tweezers. If you haven't, then try not to get them stuck up your nail, like I have. You'll be chasing them around forever. No, oops, sorry, look. Tweezers you need for this. I'll just put a couple in there, but it just finishes it off, I think. Just to get a few stamens in there. But you can see from that there that you can build up a whole sort of tropical thing. Now, down the side here, let me show you on here. We've got the larger leaf from that set, so I've added some around the corners, and then I've just piped some little green dots. Now, in this bag here, I've had some sugar paste, so ordinary sugar paste that you cover your cake with, and I've mixed some water with it, so I've paddled it. Is everybody okay with that? They know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, actually I'm saying I know what you're talking about. I don't know what everybody else does.
Right,
So
okay.
you're making some paste from your sugar paste.
Yeah, so what I've done, this is a stapleless stapler.
A stapler stapler?
Yeah, so it staples without having a metal staple in there.
Oh, that's clever, isn't it?
Perfect.
Well, look at that. Maria's perked up. Oh, you like that, don't you, Maria?
Right, so I'm going to pop. So what I've done, say that's just an ordinary piece of sugar paste you've covered your cake with. Then you add water and you paddle it until it's nice and smooth. And it's always handy for piping around the base of the cake so that you match the colour exactly. But you can also pipe little bits and bobs with it. So I'm going to pipe some little dots now, just to fill in around the base of this.
Just got to laugh there. Anne Crofts, her husband just tucks on Mondays and goes to bed. When she hugs the computer.
Right, so if you wanted to pipe these sort of little dangly things, can you see there? Okay, everybody, yeah. So if you pipe a line, and then just either side little dots, and then down the other side. So you're just getting that sort of fern look to it. So another line, and then pipe little dots. If you had a number 1 piping nozzle, you could use a number 1. And you can do the same around the base of the cake. So things like this. It's just to give an impression of ferns. So you'd have them going this way, and then dots.
That really brings it to effect, doesn't it?
Yeah, it just makes it.
And you've no nozzle in there.
I've no nozzle in there now. But as I say, you can use a number 1, but don't worry if you haven't got one, just a small hole.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's that one. Now, just go one further with this, I'm going to use this size.
Sue Pinnock.
Hello,
says
Sue.
I can't call her Sue Pinnock now, she's called Super Nicky.
Nicky, yeah. I didn't quite know who we were talking about before. Super Nicky. All right, where's that the other swan cutters that I have here? Over here. Right, so this one, if you think of what I've just done then, cutting one out, and then I'm going to, see I'm getting a mess already. Where's the pink item?
Rena says, that tip of yours, mixing the sugar paste with water, or flour paste with water, I use that
Sugar
tip
paste.
every week. And she sticks everything on with it, bows, extra, etc. It's marvellous.
Yeah, it's really handy. Right, so if you think of this little one here, so I've used that cutter there to cut that one. So I'm now going to cut the opposite, totally different shade, but never mind, you'll get the drift. So you cut one and you let it dry. You do exactly the same as I did before. Cut off the wings, top wings, bend the tail, right? So you'd let that dry. Now this one's dry, it's a bit pale. I could use this one maybe. That's going to be the opposite one now, isn't it? Anyway, that one's dried. So what you do then is you turn the dried one over and you moisten it with your water. Now these are just standing swans for cupcakes. And I didn't bring a cupcake with me, I'm sorry. I do have 2 ready, but they're in my workroom, which isn't any help at all, I know.
Are they standing flamingos?
Sorry?
Are they standing flamingos?
Yeah.
Yeah, what did I say?
Swan.
Swans? Okay. Could have been a budgie at this stage. Oh, God. Right, okay, so I'm just going to slide that up. Now, that slides easier if the first layer is dry. You can imagine trying to get 2 layers together if it's flopping about all over the place. But you can see, although it's a different colour, you can see the details on both sides there. And then I would take a cocktail stick, just going to cut a little piece off that. Never use scissors, always use a cutting tool. I'm just going to slide that in there, and that becomes his leg, right? I will adjust that in a minute. And then his beak, is it a he or a she? A little piece of white paste, So I'll put some there. So instead of flattening it this time, I'm just going to, I don't want too much. I know it has a big beak, but it can go a bit overboard. So into a ball, into a cone, just flatten the top, and then you take the flamingo and just moisten and then make that a little bit longer and push that onto there and then bring it down. So to a point and then just curl that back. Okay.
They're asking, when you made that paste before, if you make it runnier, can you use it for a drip cake?
I should think
There's
so,
a,
but
there's
you
a
do,
couple of ladies here that say that they do it, they paddle it on.
yeah, and then pipe your drips.
Mm.
Pipe your drips on. So
Yeah.
don't just let it run down because if it's
It didn't
running,
run down with it.
if it's running, it's too thin.
Yeah.
So it needs to be, piped. The drips need to be piped on. You see, I said the other day, I'm not and I know they're really, really, really popular, but I have to say I'm not a great fan of drip cakes, and that's purely because when I can't seem to get out of my training that you don't let your icing drip over the top of your cake. You know, when you're at college and you go, oh, no. So I do really need to get over it. Okay, so if you've got whichever shade of pink you want to do, so you dust that up. And you can go down the leg as well, a little bit of pink if you wanted to. And then paint the little beak and the eye. It's much easier showing examples when you're not working on a cake because you can hold things up so people can see. So I'm just going to get the beak part on there. They do have an enormous beak though, these flamingos, don't they?
I don't know, I'm still studying the legs. I think I need to work on my legs. Now I've realised I've got it all wrong. I'm going to start looking at birds in a different light from now on.
Right, so
Flamingos are on trend at the moment, so they're saying.
yeah,
Very
well,
fashionable.
yeah. I know for Christmas it was like flamingo slippers, flamingo cushion.
I didn't even know that. A friend of mine asked me to make a 21st birthday cake and she wanted flamingos, and I was thinking I never even knew Rachel was into flamingos.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
Those things come from. So then, oh, slide's dropped off. Pop that back in. And so then that would go into your cupcake, and yeah, just get loads and loads of cupcakes with flamingos on. Looks quite fun. Just go over the back of that leg a little bit. You could do the leg in grey if you wanted. Apparently. Okay, so that's the flamingo. Put that to one side. And I'll just move all this out of the way, because I'm now going to show you using our fairy set. So I'm going to actually use parts of this set, and then I'm going to show you about making a nice little flower fairy to sit on top. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to use this one, which is the house, and these, which are the mushrooms. You get different size shapes of mushrooms. You get a little flower corner set. The clouds aren't from this one, they're from the hot air balloon set, or we have some in with the airplane set. Then you get 4 fairies as well, but I'm actually going to make it a solid fairy. So,
Should we show them the house that you're going to make?
I'm going to get that now. I'll get the, I'll get the kit. Right, so what I've done with this I've iced the 2 tiers very pale green. So that's enabled me to mix some alcohol with blue dust, and I've sponged the sky on. Because this is very pale, the green hasn't really shown through. And then on the board, as I did before, I stipple with the brush to make that nice texture. And then I have a piece of sponge, any old piece of sponge will do. Mix alcohol with some green. And just go round with that colour, and then you can stipple over so you get different shades of green all over the board. If you find one part's darker than the other, just go over with a lighter green, dry. Then, I'm going to show you part of this because it's just too much to show you all of the cake in one go, but you get the drift. So as a background then, alcohol with the green dust, and all I've done is just flick like grass, so I'm painting that part of the grass on. I do that top and bottom, see it? And then with the green that I've used before for the what did I use that for?
Green leaf.
Oh yeah, piping the little dots on the cake.
A few of the ladies have got the fairy set, so they're really pleased that you're doing
Oh,
this.
very good.
Tammy Idden says that that was the first set of cutters she ever bought. Now Emily Richard says, what is the best sponge to use? I don't think you'll bother, Diane.
What is the best sponge?
Yeah.
What is the best sponge? What for stippling?
Yeah.
I've just used this. Any old piece. I find if I'm colouring anything, you know the if you can't get one of these, which looks like an egg carton, you know the washing up sponges and have like a green backing to them. It's nice close texture, the green part, the yellow part. So pull the green part away, and then you've got a nice bit of sponge there to go out. But you only ever need a small piece because you're going to use different shades of green, and then you can put all those little pieces in a plastic bag and keep them for next time. So you don't have to keep using new pieces all the time. So for this one then, here, I'm then going to just pipe little lines going up and over. I tend to, I'm just looking for a piece I haven't actually done. Oh, thank you. I tend to do this. Up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, 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 down. It always reminds me of a temperature chart. Well, not really medical. Right, so a damp brush, and then just coax the grass up. It just makes it a little bit thicker. Okay, and then I'm going to put some mushrooms on there. Firstly, I'll cut out some of these small mushrooms. If I can get them off. So white flour paste. And again, as with any patchwork cutters, it must be flour paste and roll out on the tracks or the vegetable shortening. Now white flora used to be, you know, the alternative. I don't see it now, so I don't know. If you do white flora, but Trex is widely available. And I tend to cut all these out in white and then dust from there. Right, so I'll just do a couple. That's that one. It's a nice bright one. And there's a little one there, and there's some flowers. Same thing, just cutting them out, colouring and placing them on. So I'm going to pull the paste from around the outside edge. Use a cocktail stick if you need any small areas that might stick. around the grass, around the top. Oh. I just have a little sip of water.
No, you carry on. You're doing very well. So does anybody want to ask any questions? I think Marion's doing well really, considering how poorly she is. You're holding it all together there, Marion, aren't you? Before she came, she wasn't feeling too great. It's amazing when you have to go and work in front of everybody, you do sort of hold it all together, don't you?
Absolutely, yeah, yeah.
You feel really terrible, and then after the live's finished, you then start coughing and spluttering.
Then get in the car.
So we're proud of you anyhow.
Thank you. Right, so I'm going to put that onto a piece of the laminated paper. There you go. Right, and then I'm going to go over with a little bit of nude and a touch of rose gold. So I'm just going to go over the mushroom with that, first of all.
Natasha wants to know, how many years experience do you have?
53.
No way.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're looking good on it then.
Thank you.
So Helen Miles, I'm actually getting her name right tonight. It feels strange calling her Helen Miles. We've been calling her Helen Mills for months. So Helen Miles says she's loving the demo and learning lots again.
Oh, good.
And Deborah Dafford, I think the woodland toadstool theme is coming up. Very well done. You do the woodland toadstool there.
Looks
like
one
now.
Okay, so the stem, I'm just putting on in.
Seema says, we all appreciate the live videos. We get to learn a lot without having to spend a penny. It's a free class, isn't it? Well
Yeah,
done.
that's it. Nice stem. I mean, we've got quite a few tutorials that are free on our website.
You must pop along to Marion's website because she has got tutorials on there as well. As she just said, they're all free that you can log into.
And we have paid for ones coming up. Like
you're going to start doing some classes as well, aren't you?
We are. We've got 4 out there now for June.
Have you got them on the website?
Yeah, and they're going well, and they are going to be taught by me at our unit.
Yeah. So anybody who wants to make their way up to the
beginners, intermediate, flowers, sugar paste cake, modelling, a little bit of everything there really.
So Marion's based on the Wirral, so if you go along to her website, patchworkcutters.com, is it? Or .co.uk? Both, okay.
Yeah.
And then you'll see on there tutorials and classes. So if anybody's interested for June.
June classes, and then we've got a few places left for Leanne Tang on the 18th of March, fantastic demonstrator, and on modelling. So she's doing some really cute figures. And there's a few places left on there. That's a demonstration day where you get your lunch and goodie bags and everything.
So Natasha, all the cutters are on our website tonight, which is www. I might have said too many W's there. Anyhow, 3 W's. sugarandcrumbs.co.uk. Go to brand and look for Patchwork Cutters. Or when this live feed finishes, we'll actually pin the feed to the top and the link will be there direct to the cutters so that you can get them. Oh, Laura's put it up. Thanks, Laura. With 3 W's. How many W's did I get carried away with?
5 or 6.
I don't know. In your own world. Right, so I'm going to, so you can see from there, I've used some of the rose gold and then I've mixed some of the poppy red with it and some of the nude in with both of them. So I've got sort of a ready feel to that. So I'll pop those onto here.
So So Julie Crompton says, what colours are you using on the Toadstools, Marion?
Right, I've used a mix of nude and rose gold. That's for the sort of the top of that toadstool, and then rose gold on its own for the under, and a little bit of nude on its own for the stem. The green was, can't think where that one is now. Oh, that one, which is leaf green, the dark green. And this one, I've just added some poppy red to the rose gold to make it sort of, what do you call that, burgundy? No, wine. It's more like a wine colour.
Pat says, is your unit accessible, Marion?
Yes, it is.
So it's accessible for wheelchairs?
It is.
I've actually met Pat at the cake.
Is that Pat S?
Yes, Pat S.
lovely.
I got him
She's
muddled up
lovely.
with another Pat who's on here tonight as well. But it's Pat S, yes. So yes, it is
Yes,
Pat.
it is Pat, yeah.
Because she's a local girl as well to you.
Liverpool, yeah.
Yeah, and what's the liquid you're using for the edible paints?
It's isopropyl alcohol, rejuvenator spirit.
Yeah,
I think you've got the large ones, have you?
I'm out of stock.
Oh, are you?
I still haven't found them yet.
Oh, right. So I'll just turn that over and moisten the back with a little water.
But you can use the rejuvenator spirit, or you can use vodka, or you can use lemon juice.
Yes, if you can't use alcohol, you
Yeah.
can use the lemon juice. So I'm just
Yeah.
going to put that
And
on there.
the powders are Colour Splash.
Yeah.
They're on our website, ladies. So if you go to our website, the link's already been put up. Did you put the Colour Splash link up? Yeah? No, it's okay. But if you go to our website, go to brand and just drop down to Colour Splash and you'll find all the colours there. There's dust, paints and gels.
Oh.
Susan Tyrrell says, is the unit near a railway station? Susan came to Inglewood. Do you remember the lady from Kent who came up?
Oh,
She
yeah.
follows us all the time.
Yeah.
Lifting nozzles, she came up.
Okay.
So-
If she got the train to Lime Street
Yeah.
and then one through to Mells, we would collect her because it's not far from Mells, and we do that quite often. There's a lady, Lorraine, she comes from London for the day, and that's what we do. We pick her up and she comes to the class.
There you go, Susan.
So if you wanted to come, yeah, just let us know the time you're arriving in Mells, and we would pick you up from there.
Message me afterwards, Susan, and I will give you Pat's email address so you can talk to her. But there you go, she'll pick you up from the train station. How cool is that?
Right, so this one is the little house that's on the side here.
And Sarah says she has to keep trying to rearrange all the cupboards so she can fit in all her new things. We all do that though, don't we? I got this kitchen and I remember thinking, I'll never fill it. It's
Oh,
filled
right.
to the rafters, my office is filled to the rafters, the other sugar and crumbs is filled to the
The whole
rafters.
house is filled to the rafters.
You just keep buying, don't you, when you got empty cupboards?
Right, so I'm not, how long have I got?
You've got as long as you want.
Because what I want to do, I mean, I'm not going to sit paint all this, but I left the main body of this white, and you can see from here, I've painted, mixed alcohol and dust colour, painted all around there, white on there, painted the curtains, painted around the window, painted the doors. So it's just what I've done on the mushrooms there, I've just done on the big house. The little stones I've left, had some grey paste out here before.
Let me just answer, you can use the lemon squeezy rather than the fresh lemons, can't you?
I can't say because I've never.
Right,
I've
because
never.
I've used it and
Have
actually
you?
it was fine, yeah.
It's all down to when. I'll have to come back and show you one of the painting techniques I do. And the only one that works is sugar flare isopropyl alcohol. It's the way it runs through the design.
Right.
But I'll come back and show you that. So where's that? Where can I find my grey? I've got brown there. See,
Oh, that brown,
there it is.
okay.
Yeah, no, I've got it.
Oh, brown sugar
right.
paste, is it?
Yeah, I've got it brown there, but it's the blacker one. So this is just a piece of sugar paste, and I've just tipped a little bit of dust on it, mixed it through, not quite, so that it's very patchy, and then you just break a piece off into a ball, and that's making your little stones. So break a piece off. Don't do them in brown because it always looks like horse poo. It doesn't look very nice when it's,
No.
you know.
No, but in the brown, if you do it light with, so it's grey, you can do it marbly, which looks really nice.
Yeah, yeah, you need two colours. Right, so then there's your stones on there. Okay, so you get your little path going. Now what I want to show you is the fairy that I'm going to sit on here. So, I'm going to start off.
We need to let them know she's going to make a fairy and a mermaid. Have you got time for the mermaid stuff?
That's up to you. I'll just go on forever. Right, so the first thing you need to do is have a base. So I use a cocktail stick. Now if you don't like cocktail sticks in things, you could use, no, don't say spaghetti because I know it can do as a support, but what I'm going to do here, the spaghetti would snap. So you could use a straw, but you need something that's quite rigid. Okay, so I put a ball of paste on there and you leave it to go hard. Then I'm going to take my mould. Now you've got these, Carol, I know. Karen makes them for me, so
Oh, the
you
hair
can't,
colours,
you can't get them from Karen, you get them from me or
Yeah,
Karen.
they're on our website.
Yeah. So
They're under Patchwork Cutters.
So what you do is you take a piece of the flesh coloured paste. Just wiping my hands hygienically on my shoulders. Right.
As we've said, it's all demo cake, so you
It
take
is.
on.
It is. Nothing is.
Nothing's been eaten. I'm really good because it helps my diet when we can't eat anything.
Right. So I'm taking a piece of paste.
And I don't eat anything of much for a bag of. What have we had today, Maria? Sweets. Yeah, we've had sweeties.
Just going to put a little bit of Trex in there. Sweeties.
I love the toadstool.
I'm going to put the smooth side down in the mould, then take the dried bit. I'm going to put a little bit of water on there, not much, just make it just a little bit sticky, and then push that down. Now don't push over the neck area, just push the ball right down and then gather that around the back. Don't worry too much about lines and creases, that's fine. And so then when you pop that out, you've got your little face on a stick. Okay? Hopefully without black bits on there. Right, so I've already painted one up. There she is there. So all it is, blush on the cheeks, white in the eye. Oh, I will do one because I want to show you this bit. I've got one there. I've got time. So a little bit of pink on the cheeks.
Are you in the camera? You?
No.
Make sure. Are we in the camera, John? Yeah.
Pink on the cheeks. Then white. Ooh, maybe not with this brush, we'll see.
I'm just being asked how we diet. Failing miserably.
Yeah. If you've just eaten a bag of sweets, then. Did you? Did you eat a bag of sweets?
We don't normally have sweets, but
Is it a sweetie diet?
hey, I so wish it was. I would win. I'd lose weight if it was.
Right, so you'd leave that to dry anyway, the one I just made. And then I've got pink on there. You put white in the eye. Got some plain.
Elaine Lawton says, have you got the fairy cutter to hand? I should love to see how she makes her, please. That's what you're making now, isn't it?
I'm making the proper model of a fairy.
Yeah,
Yeah? Is that the one she means?
I'm not sure.
So you put white on first. It's very pale, this colour, but okay, and a little bit of white in the mouth. Now this is the bit I wanted to show you. Oh, I'm going to put pink on the lips first. But if you don't like painting eyes, I'll show you what to do. Right. Okay, so we've got a bit of a lip going on there, but right, so for the eye, I'm going to take a tiny piece of brown paste
No, she means the fairy that comes in the set.
Oh, I can cut one out and paint it. It's literally the same idea as that.
Yeah.
You cut it out and you paint them to whatever
It's
colour you
exactly
want.
the same as the toadstool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all of them. Just cut them out, paint them. If you want to build up any extra layers, you can.
There you go, Elaine. Just
I
cut
can
them out
show you-
exactly the same.
I can show you that if you want to, but not with the mermaid.
Yeah, Natasha, Marion's face moulds are actually on our website as well, under Patchwork Cutters. So if you go to our website, www.sugarandcrumbs.co.uk, at the top it says brand, drop down to Patchwork Cutters. All the cutters that Marion's using tonight is on on that page, and Marion's baby mould there, baby face
Yeah.
mould.
So I've cut out number 2, size 2 little circles, and this is if you don't like painting, you can. I know they look tiny. Just going to put that back in the mould. That acts as support. I'm afraid this one looks like it's got a temperature, like I was on Saturday. Okay, where's the little part line? Oh, okay, so I'm going to pull that away and lift and pop that. So you hold it where you want it to go, and then not there. She's looking down. Okay. You know, I'm going to get rid of that one. I've got enough to cut quite a few out. Right, so slide that off.
That's a
so
good
that
idea to use that as a support, isn't it?
The
mould.
yes,
Yeah.
it's come from there, so it will fit. And then
How much is the face mould, Marion?
I think they're £8.
How much?
8.
They're £8, Portia.
Okay, and then when you've got them where you want them to be, you can just give a press just to thin them down. You don't want them sort of protruding. Well, it just gives you small eyes without having to paint them on. And then I'm going to touch it brown. And I would.
I'd be tempted to get out my non-parallels now.
Well, you don't want
Stick that in.
you don't want anything protruding.
I know.
That's
I'll be there pushing it in.
that's the thing. If they protrude, they're definitely.
Doesn't it come together as soon as you put the eye on?
Yes, well look, it comes together even more when
Don't forget keep it
you
there,
get
camera.
where's the white bit there? You look now. So if I get this white and just touch,
Can we see that on the camera?
can you see that?
Yeah.
That little tiny white dot
You
in
see it,
there.
John? Yep.
Yeah.
You've got to follow the hand signals, Marion.
Perfect.
John doesn't like
I thought
talking.
it was handsome. Right, so
There's
we've
no,
got
there's no point in shouting left and right, is there?
Well, not
not
today.
unless you're going in reverse, no. Right, so I'm going to, now you've got the hairline there to follow, and with this one, because she has the hat on, all I do is paint the hair. So she's got a nice sort of auburn look here. You don't have to worry too much about the back because the hat's going on there, but just take it down to the neck. Okay.
That looks
Right.
really good, that face.
Yeah, cutesy. Nice for little choir, choirs and angels and things as well. Right, so now I'm going to make the body. So I'm going to use this. Okay. I'm like, yeah, sorry.
You can come round here and have a coffin fit if you like.
I feel like gurgling, but I can't really. Right, so just going to take the body, and if you've got scales, these little miniature scales, then that's brilliant. Okay, little pocket scales. You can get them from Georgie Godbold, who's actually one of the demonstrators at our April mega weekend.
Yeah.
And
Go on,
again,
tell
plug,
them about
plug.
your weekend. Are you
Right.
booked up?
No, we've got a few
So-
tickets left on both days.
Yeah,
And there's Kerry Griffiths. I'll have to get my list.
yeah.
There's
You've got Karen Davies. Have you
we've got on the Saturday we've got Kerry Griffiths, Lindy Smith, who's got brilliant colours and everything. Cassie Brown, who is doing flowers from her new book, and me. And then on the Sunday we've got Georgie Godbold, Christina Ludlam, who makes a lot of the cakes for Karen, and she is amazing, the design she comes up with. And
She's been here on our live.
Has she? Yeah, and Karen Davis as well. She's with me on the Sunday. But Georgie is an absolute scream.
Yeah, she is.
She cracks me up.
So what Marion's telling you there is in April, and it's April the
21st and 22nd. You
Yeah.
can come either day or both.
yeah 21st and 22nd of April. She's got a 2-day event on the Wirral at Inglewood Manor.
Yeah.
I was invited, but I'm on holiday, so that's why we had to do an early one last
Yes.
week for me. But she's got all those guests there, and you can either go to both days or one day. Just book on via Marion's website, Patchwork Cutters, or message me and I will send you the link
Great.
if anybody wants to go. It's an amazing day. It's great to see all those people close up.
Yeah. You get a
I
nice
get
lunch,
to chat to them. Yes,
2-course lunch, and a goodie bag,
yeah, that's right.
and discount on all the products.
Yeah, you do. You do. Discount on all the products, goodie bag,
Yeah.
2-course lunch, coffee in the morning, 11s is coffee and the cake in the afternoon. Get well fed, don't you?
Yeah, you do. Yeah, it's usually a good laugh. It's always a good laugh. Right, I've got 20 grams, I've got my notes here. I've got 20 grams of paste for the body. Now I'm just wondering if I...
Is this sugar paste or flour
No,
paste?
this is flour paste.
Yeah.
It can be, well, flour modelling paste it
Yeah.
is. So I'm just going to put some water. Oh, I don't know what to... Actually, can I just move that out of the way? And I'll put it on there for now.
Yeah.
And I'll sit her on there, just so you can see what I'm doing better.
You can buy the flour modelling paste on our website. It's under Renshaw, and I think Maria's had the link anyhow. But also, you can buy it individually, but I've just put a pack on so that if you want 100 grams of each colour, there's a multi-pack on there as well to get you started. So Tracy, it's at Inglewood Manor on the Wirral on the 21st and 22nd of April. And if you want more details, message me and I will send you Marion's email. What are you looking for?
I'm looking for little balls of paste. The flesh coloured paste that I've just had there. Right. I weighed them out ready because you don't want to see me doing exactly the right sizes.
It's amazing how you can lose stuff when it's in front of you, isn't it?
God, I know, well, look at
The
it.
amount of times
Look
I've
at
been
the
on
mess.
a live there and I
Sorry,
can't find
you don't
it.
have your table like this normally. Right, okay. So this is for the leg. This is how you make the legs. It's 3 grams, and you knead the paste till it's nice and pliable. Okay, and then that goes.
Jenny Watson, she said, I missed what you did with the hair. Did you paint it on? You did.
I've painted that one. The mermaid I don't, because she has long hair. Right, so this is the leg. So you take, can I just get rid of all the off there? You take a small piece of the end, that's the ankle, with the foot, halfway along, knee, bend it over, twizzle that to a point, then you pinch the foot forward, pinch back, narrow the foot, and then slim the ankle. You don't want it to look.
Can you just confirm what paste you're using?
I'm using the Renshaw's flour modelling paste.
And
Yeah.
it's
You've got
flour, Flower, not flour, as in flour like self-raising.
Right, so then you leave those to dry. And I'm just going to mix a little bit of this with alcohol. And I haven't put toes on because I'm just going to paint a little shoe. You can cut toes if you prefer, but this is easier. So I'm going across the top. Oh, it's a bit thin. For a strap, and then round the back for the heel. But this is when both legs are dried. Once you've got this part. It doesn't take long to actually make the fairy.
We're off to
so
Tenerife, Helen.
who's going to Tenerife?
Just asking where we are when you Flamingo Wood Manor. She said, where am I off to? Said Tenerife.
Oh, because you couldn't come. There's a strap over. Just paint that little shoe on. Obviously, I'm rushing it a little bit, so you would take your time.
So Roz is a newbie. She's really enjoying watching tonight. But what's the difference between flour modelling paste and sugar craft paste?
Right, sugar paste is what you cover your cakes with, and it doesn't dry really, really hard. And flour paste is what you do your finer work, flour modelling paste, and that dries hard and won't break. I'm not going to mess around with that, but anyway, so then I'm going to just make 2 holes in there. Can you see that, everyone?
Mhm.
What I'm doing? Okay, and I'm going to put a little water in there, and then just pop the legs in. Just sit it to the end. Now, if she's dainty, you can have the legs close together. You could even have them crossed over if you wanted to. But you don't want it to look as though she's riding a horse. Right, so now I'm going to use the gerbera set. So this is what we make our big gerbera sprays with. And I'm using that one for the dress.
That's a handy little stand you've made there, Marion.
I know. You see, I used to make these at the shows, and I'd make the smaller version. I'd use the middle-sized head, and I used to sit them on top of the little pots of dust colour. And at the end of the day, I'd have hundreds of these fairies sitting there. It's all very pretty.
Don't forget to keep whizzing around.
Hey?
Don't forget to keep her in the camera.
Mhm.
You have to do
Fine.
it back to front, Marion.
It's fine. We're fine.
I'm getting a thumbs up.
Getting a thumbs up off John.
Yeah.
See, I'm 30 seconds behind, so I don't see it.
Oh, right.
He's got you as you're live now. And I'm
Right.
getting what the audience sees, so we're 30 seconds behind.
Okay. Okay. Right, I'm using a frilling stick. This will give it a little bit of texture. I do exactly the same if I'm making one of our big gerbera flowers. And I don't know if you remember when I came just before Christmas.
They'll all be glad you're using a frilling stick because I've got them in stock for them, so plenty of people have ordered them and bought them.
Do you know?
So they'll be glad that they can use them for something else now rather than just the flowers.
Yeah. Well, this is what I use as well for the big owl that I brought last time. And he has big googly eyes, and this is the eye from that owl. So I'm just going to make a cut across there. Lift that up. So just use your paper to lift it. A little water. Just on the top. Around the base.
Right, Rabasha says, does the flower modelling paste have Tylo in it too? If not, how long does it take for the paste to dry? The thing with flower modelling paste, it dries very quickly, doesn't it, Marion?
It does dry very quickly. It has gum dry.
You've got to work fast.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't have time to dilly-dally. Right, one layer. So I cut the top of that so that it pokes through. Otherwise, if you don't give yourself enough height, it just looks like a little squat fairy. So you have to make this. You could put a little jacket on it, but I just like to have 2 layers of flower. We could do them in different shades. Darker shade underneath, lighter shade on top.
That's cute, isn't it?
Well, it does look cute, and then when you get the head in, it looks like nothing on there. Looks like something out of Star Trek until you get the hat on. So you have to bear with me here.
No worries. I'm just going to shout out to Hello Louisa. She's in Australia.
Ah,
So
right.
she joins us every week.
Ah.
So she's just saying, she's just shouting out, good morning, global family.
Good morning.
The morning over there, isn't it? Very early. What time is it over there now?
Be about 6:30, 7:30.
Yeah.
AM?
Yes, AM.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
On Tuesday.
early riser.
My daughter's coming home from Australia in 3 weeks. I'm well excited.
Who, yours?
Yeah.
Oh,
I was in the shower before thinking, oh my goodness, she arrives on a Thursday morning at 12 o'clock. I've got to do a Facebook Live and get to the airport straight after.
why doesn't that surprise me?
And
I
I'm
know.
dedicated to these Facebook Lives.
I know. I know. I just don't know where you're going.
Dedicated. We've been
I don't know
doing
where
this
you're
now.
going from.
We've been doing this now 14 months,
Oh
Marion.
my God.
Eh?
I'm so impressed. Right, so I've
It's
brought
7:41 with
7:41.
Louisa.
Right.
Good
Now.
morning, Louisa. Right, so Portia says, explanations on doing the legs, please. She just wants to know, could you just mention it again?
You want to do another leg?
Yeah, but we'll get her dress on first.
Oh, I'll go back a bit.
Yeah.
So, the arms now. So the arms, very much like the leg actually.
Yeah, there
The arm is 2 grams and into a shorter sausage than the leg.
Just let me say something, guys. If you've missed anything in tonight's tutorial, when it's finished, it's pinned to the top of our page. It also goes on YouTube tomorrow, so you can watch it at your leisure. The good thing is that at the moment you can't go backwards or forwards because it's a live feed. But once it's posted, you can actually reverse and fast forward. So you know, feel free to do that.
Right, so I've cut. I'll explain the whole process. The small end of the bone tool in there. Then I'm just going to moisten with a little water.
I can't believe putting a dress on there makes it. She just looks so different already.
Yeah. Thumbs to the top. Just put the arm on the side. Remember, the arms go on the side. They don't spring from the back of her neck. So I'm just putting a hand round like so. Okay.
On the next hand you do, can you do that right in front of the camera?
Yeah.
I.e. backwards to you.
Yeah. Oh.
That makes sense.
Just check that's the right one. I'm not doing it with the leg one. Right? Yeah. Well, up here.
Yep, perfect.
Okay. So into a ball, into a sausage, and then you don't take too much for the hand. Let me switch it. Don't take too much. If you go down here, you're going to have a whopping
Just
great
shoot
big
camera.
hand.
Yeah.
So just a small end there for the hand. Move along, elbow. Just bend at the elbow. Now flatten the hand. Thin the fingers out. And remember that the thumbs are always on the inside. So I'm going to cut the thumb on this side this time. So halfway up the length of the hand, in at an angle, remove that little wedgy bit there, and then fingers 1, 2, 3. I'm not bothering with nails and all the rest of it. Just touch the ends away, the sharp points, turn it over, touch the palm with the bone tool and just slim that wrist out again. Okay, so moisten with water and pop that on. Now for the sleeves, just going to roll out a size 2. So in here, on all these, you have a number. That's a size 2. So a little bit of little tricks on there.
I wondered what Julie was on about then. Mind you, I look different with clothes on. Because I said, oh, does she look different now? She's got a dress on.
Yeah.
I certainly look different with clothes on as well. I hide a lot of sins.
Right, so pull that paste away.
That's fab, I like that.
Again, I'm going round with just touching in there just to widen those. Normally, I don't know if it's going to be in shot, but normally I would move that to the end of the board.
So Tina Pine says, how many people attend on your demo days? She might be able to bribe her husband with the prospect of a hot buffet.
We have anything from about 20 up to, if it's a mega day, we have 60. Yeah, we do have a big screen.
You excelled yourself the other week with Alan Dunning though, didn't you?
I did get a bit crazy, I have to say. We had to close the books at about 70. Right, so cut that in half. Can you still see what I'm doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So turn that over, put a moisten across the top, and then just turn that end in, and turn that end in. Do the same with this one. Moisten across the cut edge, and turn that end in, and turn that end in. Right, nearly there now. So moisten around the arm. And place that sleeve on top. And place that sleeve on top. Now, this is where she looks a bit weird. I'm just going to get a little bit of water on there. And you push that down into. Now you can have the head looking anywhere you want. So if you've got a group of fairies, they can all be having a little chat. Okay. And then I'm going to cut out a size 4. So you look on your cutters in here. These make lots of different flowers, by the way. That's a 3, that's a 4. Everything from little winter chrysanthemums, lots and lots of different flowers in this one. To a matching hat. Okay, so tracks round.
She's looking cute. She's looking cute.
She looks better with a hat on. She's a proper little monk at the moment. Right. Again, just go round, just the tips with the frilling stick.
Joe Fitchett says, do you still do your book on fairies, Marion? Karen Griffith says, Marion, that's amazing.
Oh, thank you.
Louisa Johnson says she looks like a little cutie pie.
Yeah, you do start bonding with them at this point. Right, so I'm just going to put a little bit of water around me.
So the cutters you've used is from which set is this, or the cutters in?
These are all from the gerbera.
All from the gerbera.
Yeah.
So so for this fairy then you've used the head mould and the cutters from the gerbera set.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
So I start with the hat at the back, go right down to the back of the neck, and then just bring it round like so.
Do you still do your book on fairies, by the way? Did you answer that question?
Is it what, sir?
Do you still do your book on fairies? Did you answer that question before?
I do, yeah, but it has changed slightly from then. From then to now, because that was like quite a few years ago. So I'm using a different mould and what have you. Just going to put a little bit of green, a ball into a cone, and that can go on the back of her hat there. And because she's a fairy, she does need to have wings. So I usually use the butterfly. I've got one there. This is a small butterfly out of our set, and I'll do it in white, and then I'll just dust the tips. So roll that out. Can you still see where I'm working here? Do you want me to move further in?
I think John's just adjusted it.
You're going to need to lie down in a dark room, John, after you finish with that.
Pardon?
You're going to need to lie down in a dark room. Just finish.
He's
Charge
got
you
to
around.
He's got to drive to Scotland tonight.
Oh yeah, we'll have to finish soon, won't we? We'll finish after this one. I'll come back and do the mermaid. Right, so I'm just going to take this one.
You're going to stay there and finish it, Marion. Work out, don't worry.
Well, I'll show you.
We're
I'll show you
packed,
bits.
we're packed and we're ready.
Oh my god! I'll show you bits of the.
Jenny Scholes said she could never make anything like that, but you could, Jenny.
Oh gosh, you can.
You could. She just showed you how easy.
Yeah, I'm just going around the edge with a little of the matching colour against the white. And normally I would leave that to dry, so I would put that over the edge of a workboard or something. This is just stretching a little bit, it's really soft. But when that's dry, then I would attach that onto her back.
Well,
so
we can leave it on the foam pad for a minute and go back to it if you like.
I don't think it's even going to work then. It's really, really soft. I'm just wondering what I've picked up. But I'll put it on like that. You're not going to see it anyway, but if she wasn't going to sit right up against this cake, but I'm going to pop her on the cake now. So she would go on the bottom tier here. So if you didn't want it to fall off, then you could stick a cocktail stick in and then stick her on there. Come on, girl. Sorry. Probably let her head fall off. Okay, we'll pop her on there. So you're not going to actually see the butterfly because she's going to sit up by her house. What you can do is, if you've got the piping nozzle, you can just mark on a few little buttons down the front of the dress. On there. And then just turn some of the petals back on her hat.
She says she looks adorable.
Twinkie it up a little bit. But when you've got a lot on a cake, I did a cake once with about 17 of these on. Big cake. It had waterfalls and everything.
I was going to say,
many years ago now.
oh, Holly would have her eye on that.
Yeah.
And Elaine Lawson's going to make one tomorrow, I think, for her granddaughter. She's making one.
Oh.
But I know our Holly would, if she saw that tonight, that's what she'll be wanting.
Oh. Those little flowers that I made, where did I stick them before? So you could make it in the set of butterflies. We do have a tiny, tiny butterfly. So you could cut those out and put butterfly in a hand, or I'll just take that one off there. And that's the flower I made earlier. So she could be holding the flower fairy. She could be holding the flower on there. I'll just quickly explain about the mermaid then, because I won't have time.
Yeah, we're fine. So guys, let me just see, because of time, do you want Marion to do this mermaid, or do you all want her to leave it? Let's see, we've got 30 seconds for you to put your hands up. Do you want to wait?
Or should I come back and do the help thing?
Or should she come back at a later date? So we're just going to wait for you to start saying, would you like her to do the mermaid?
I can quickly show you how to do it.
Yeah, do you want to show what it is? So we just need to know, do you want to see it now, or do you want us to come back? Are you all desperate to get off?
You've got to drive to Scotland, haven't you?
I'm not driving anywhere. John's driving to Scotland.
Okay. Let me just I'll quickly explain about
no,
it.
I knew they would. Yes, please. Yes, please.
Right, okay. So this is the Little Mermaid,
Is that
right?
in the camera view? John, just one
Yeah.
second. Right, where it is there now is in the camera view. Would you like Marion to make this mermaid? Are you all going to be patient enough to wait?
I'll do it very quickly.
Yeah. So she's going to throw this together very quickly, guys. And when she comes back another time, she'll do it for you again. But just in case you want to, in case you've got this cutter.
And antlers from
Yeah.
our stem.
And if you, as she just said, all of you bought the antlers before Christmas, she's used that for the coral. So John's just moving the cameras to get zoomed in.
I'll make one sitting here.
Yeah.
Okay. So you start off with a piece of the flour paste.
Just hang on a minute, Marion.
Okay.
How's that camera sorted?
Okay. Just put it down.
Are you right there, John? Does Marion need
Shall
to
I
do this?
sit her on a pot again rather than on a
It would be,
be better
yeah.
rather than on the cake? Okay. Okay, she can sit on here. She'll have a shorter tail, but we'll do this as she does. Okay, so for the tail, into a ball.
Yeah,
and
they've all said yes. So if you just stay with us, guys, you've all said yes. Marion's going to quickly do this for you.
okay,
Because we know we're running near to time.
right, so for the tail, I'm going to cut through there, open that out, just twist it to take that cut side away. Okay, and then put that onto a sponge pad.
Oh, in the right camera. Just hang on, Marion.
Mhm.
Just hang on. Just make sure John can see.
Okay.
Yeah, are we okay? Good.
Good. Okay.
Good.
Right. So I'm just flattening those tail pieces out a little
They
bit.
want it both ways. They want you to do this, and you've got to come back as well.
Oh, that's all. I'd love to come back. Thank you. Okay. So I'm putting that in
They want
there,
it all.
and I'm just making some little end bits there for the tail. All right. Pinch that in, and then I'll sit her on there now. She can have a tail down there. Now, at the end of your frilling stick, you've got the half curve, which is usually a little smile for any modelling, but it makes lovely fish scales. So try and get them between each row between the previous one. Work your way down. I would take a little bit longer doing this, but you know, time wise. Right, so then I'm going to use, right, I'll use that. I've got a smaller rolling pin.
You're okay for time, Marion, don't worry.
Well, I'll just use that. You just need to make a little dimple.
John and I are strong.
If you go,
He'll make me drive while he goes to sleep.
I know, and all the way up there he's saying, she never shut up, couldn't get it off.
It's doing him good to drive me this time of the night. Usually
drive?
we go out and he drives on the way out, and because I don't drink, I'm always the homeward driver in the night.
Okay.
So it'll do him good to drive.
Okay. Right, so I've made that hole there for the body to sit in. Now, I have gone a little bit far in. She's got like what I call a Beyonce bum. She's got quite a big backside there. That's all right. You're getting the gist. So I'm taking this just into a... I'm tapering that down because she hasn't got a neck on her head. As long as that fits in.
That's a
there.
good idea for making the scales with that, isn't it?
Oh, it's perfect for
Yeah.
scales, yeah, yeah. Smiles and scales.
Yeah.
Right, so I'm going to pop that, a bit of water on there, and pop that through there. Just bring that part up there. So she hasn't got a neck, you see, so I'm just taking this up to her head. I'm going to moisten. I'll cut some of that off now. You should use me flower cutters really. Model that into there. You see what I mean about the back side? It should have been slightly smaller.
Jane Lever said, where did you get the scales from? But we got them off Georgie Goldball, but...
Oh, the little scales, yeah.
Would you contact Georgie for them? You can buy
Yeah.
them off Amazon, can't you?
Oh,
Or would
yes,
you
I
just
suppose,
contact
I
them off
suppose you
Georgie?
could. It just depends.
Because how would they contact Georgie?
Just go on to her website, which is,
The Wobbly Gobblies?
yeah,
Wobbly-
Wobblies.
The Sugar Wobblies?
Just Wobble. If you put Wobblies or Georgie Godbold in,
Yeah.
you'll get her.
Yeah, so Jane, if you put Georgie Godbold into the Google, it'll come up. And she's on Facebook. You can message her via Facebook.
Yeah.
I just bought a set off her. They were £10.
Yeah, they are £10.
Yeah.
There are various prices on thing, but I know she has them imported, doesn't she? So she's got all the duties and that to pay as well.
Yeah.
But don't. Oh, she's so funny. I was at one of her. Well, she was actually down at one of our days, and she was explaining about these, and she said, "No, when you get them, remember." Because I bought them and I thought, oh, they don't wear. Something's wrong somewhere.
You didn't take the lid. You didn't do it with the lid
Yeah,
on.
and she said, remember, you've got to take the lid off when you're using them. And I didn't like to say, oh, that's what you do.
Marion, I was at a class with Georgie last Thursday, and I sat with a lovely lady. She's not on here tonight, but she'll die when she reads this, Jo Slater. And she said, I can't get the scales to work. And I just looked at her and I thought, I hear what she just said. And she'd done the same, she hadn't taken the lid off.
No, I know, and I hadn't.
I just said to her, I said, Jo, it would help if you took the lid off.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that's what I've done. Right, so I'll just use a little bit of the Patchwork. I am rushing this a bit. She's got the most massive back.
No worries. And are we showing it to the camera?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
So we turn around.
You have to remember most of this is covered by hair.
Marion,
By puddles.
don't worry, you're fine. Take your time. I want you to show them how to do their arm and that. Oh, you've done the arms.
I've done the arms. Right, so this is going to be her little top. So into a teardrop shape and flatten. Into a teardrop shape and flatten. And then just use your Dresden tool to mark across. Like so they look like two little shells. Okay, and then, yeah, let's put them on the wrong way around. So that goes like so, and that one, move it out a bit. Bit busty this one, isn't she? Goes like so.
I'm going to say, Marion, not being rude, has she got my belly or something? Is that what happens when you're in a rush? You didn't make her slim and elegant with a waist.
Oh God. Yeah.
There, Iris is feeling the same. She said that mermaid is a shape I can relate to. I know, Iris, I'm with you, girl.
You see. She's been eating
I'm glad you didn't make a skinny one. I feel all right now.
No, you see, she's a skinny one. So on this one, I'm not going to paint the hair because she doesn't have a hat on. So I'm just going to take. You see, when you're sitting in your workroom, and you think, that looks a bit chunky, I'll take that one off.
What I'm concerned about, Maria's going to make a 1 minute video on a fat mermaid. I hope you put a note on there that Marion had to do this at speed.
Yeah.
Jane Temple says she's working on her summer body. Yeah, she's got a couple of months.
She's got. Oh, God. I knew I should have done this first. Right. So just scratch down. Same as I did for a tail reel. So you're just building up.
Yeah, Kat Riley says it's nice to see a fuller figure mermaid. More fish and chips in her diet, I think.
Oh God. Right, so you can make a part in there. And then, so all I do then is start building up layer upon layer of hair. Like.
So just answer a question while you're building up your layers then. Portia says, how did you make the skin tone colour?
I just used peach and a touch of terracotta.
There you go. Peach and a touch of terracotta. Powder dust or liquid? Gel.
Paste. Gel.
Yeah. To be fair, Portia, we do the colour splash gels and we've got a lovely skin tone one there called Nude, which is fantastic.
There's one there.
You only have to use
I've got it there.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, we've got it in powder and we've got it in gel as well.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
Oh,
And it's great for the skin tone.
yeah. Yeah. So I'm not going to stand here now for 20 minutes putting hair on. But if I show you that one, I'll show you the slim
Joe
version.
Fitchett says it's cold in that sea. She needs the extra padding.
Yeah. Yeah.
There we go.
She's like, I think she's drunk.
So-
She's leaning over. But you can see that one there.
Are we there, John? Can we see that?
I mean,
Yeah, Marion, turn it to this camera.
right, okay, so that's
This
her
one.
hair.
Oh, that's her hair, yeah.
That's her hair.
Yeah, you've done a
Going
good job
around
on
her
her hair
hair.
there.
Yeah, so just little bits, putting on, taking it, that's short, so you take it down over the join of her arm.
Yeah,
To
she's
put
a nice fine
Sea
figure
curls
again.
on there.
Actually, she looks alright, that chubby one, actually.
She, no,
If you'd done dark hair, I could have maybe passed myself off as her.
no. She,
John says even I'm not there.
no.
Even she's not as chubby as me.
But it shows that when you go too far in with the hole to stick the body, it's a
Gives her a nice big bum. We got the hand signals yet?
yeah. I'm getting hand signals. Well, I hope the hand signals. Should I be upset?
You need to go back this way, Marion. You keep turning. There you go. Perfect.
Right. So we all, you know, one day I will do that again for you without the. She needs a much smaller. You see, hang on. Now, look. If I just take that. This is what I would do at home.
Have you got it? Have you got it on that side, John? Yeah.
So just make it smaller and slimmer.
Yeah.
So, taking a piece off. I'm going to cut
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Don't put the chubby one
Don't
on
put
the
the fat
on the
one.
1 minute video, Maria. Let's go for the slim one.
Okay.
No, she's doing the
No, I'm
slim
doing the
one.
slim one now.
Ah, yes.
We might not put any on. We might just say, maybe she's coming back to do that one. Right, so I'm just scrape that out to make the tail. Where's my little doofler? There. Okay. So much slimmer there, and then you see, this is moments of when Rudolph's head fell off the novelty cake at Christmas. Hmm. Right, so if I make a hole,
So we're nearly done, guys. Just
For
give
the
us
body.
5 more minutes.
not even that. So I'm just making that hole there, much further back, and a little bit of water.
Lorna says it's been an informative night and her 7-year-old daughter's been watching and thinks you're amazing, Marion.
Oh, thank you. What's the daughter's name?
She hasn't said.
Oh.
So Jane Temple says, so this is the one that went to Weight Watchers then?
This is the before and after. Yeah. But she has got slimmer hips now. Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, she got a bit of a moment going on there. But she has definitely got slimmer hips.
Everyone's saying they've had a great night.
Oh, that's good.
So just hang on for this mermaid to finish. Slimmed out now.
No, she's slimmed out now, yeah. You see, if it was that easy, just take your time making these little scallops. And I'm dying to redo the body, but I won't. You can see from this one, it's much slimmer. From the back, it's horrendous. Oh, she's got a flipper stuff.
So what do we think of that, guys? How cool is that? To be fair, you've done that twice, that mermaid now, and you've done it in 8 minutes. How fantastic, guys!
There you go.
So let's get the thumbs up and all the likes and loves. Thank you. So guys,
Thank you for putting up with the mess.
So guys, thank you for being with us tonight, and I really do appreciate you coming along, Marion.
Right.
I know you've
No.
not been well.
No.
Poor girl, she's been in bed all weekend. She sent me a
I'm back to bed
message,
now.
and I did say to her she doesn't have to come. I wasn't mean. I said, Marion, I'll do my lemon drizzle cake tonight. You can come another night.
You did.
So, so if you let Marion know how much you appreciate her coming along tonight, all the cutters are on our page that she's used. So she's used the swan cutters for the flamingos. Go on, do you want to shout out quickly which cutters you
Bunny
used?
set for the rabbit.
Yeah, bunny set for the rabbit, swan for the flamingos.
The mould, the head mould for the.
This head mould you can only get either off Marion or off myself.
Yeah.
She's had Karen Davies made this especially for her, for the little baby faces.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that one is, what's on that one?
This one is the fairy.
Oh, the
which
fairy
is
set.
really lovely. So
Yeah.
I think
so
if
I've
we
used the gerbera for the
just
dress.
turn that one round to that camera there.
Which?
This one.
This one?
Yeah.
I've used the gerbera for the dress, and then this is part of the fairy set. But you do get 4 fairies as well that you can cut out and stick on the side of the cake, just like the same way as the what are they? Toadstools and mushrooms in the house. So you cut them out, paint them, and then attach them onto your cake.
Brilliant. So if you want anything tonight, guys, just nip over to our website, www.sugarandcrumbs.co.uk, drop down to brand Patchwork Cutters, everything is there. All the colours are on the Colour Splash range. Maria has put all the links on, so as soon as this live is finished, it's going to be posted to the top of the page till Thursday. And you'll be able to get all the links. It'll be on YouTube tomorrow as well. Probably be on YouTube by tomorrow afternoon. Anything you need, message me. Now, in fairness, John and I are flying out the door in 2 minutes. We've got to pack Marion up in the car, take Maria home, and then we're dashing up to Scotland. It's amazing, we're only going up there for the day. But we've got to go to see somebody tomorrow, and then we're back tomorrow night. So if I don't message you, because I do know a couple of you have messaged me, I'll try and answer back while I'm in the car, otherwise it'll be tomorrow night. So otherwise I will see you on Thursday where I'm making a lemon drizzle cake. I'm going to make something with the new gin and tonic flavour and the Prosecco flavours. Next Monday we have Zoe Clark from Zoe's Fancy Cakes, who's amazing, isn't she? Hopkins, yeah.
Zoe Hopkins.
I keep calling her Clark. Where have I got that from? No idea. Zoe Hopkins.
She's in Australia.
That's right, yeah. Do you know what it was? I was watching her video on Crofton yesterday.
Right.
There, I forgot. Right, okay. So Zoe Hopkins, she'll kill me. But she's
amazing.
Here. She's amazing.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen her, she's here next Monday. Definitely a demo that you should watch. Make sure
Absolutely.
that you're here for Monday. And then on the following Thursday is my daughter, as Laura is in. She's making something as well. So Monday nights is demos about products and tutorials and classes you can go to. Thursdays is all about baking. I want to say a big thank you for joining us. Please share. It's very important to pass the word. Facebook makes it difficult for everybody. So everybody who's watched tonight, please share this session. And if you're on YouTube, please subscribe. I know that you can watch it without subscribing, but it costs nothing. Just tap in, subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and let everybody know how much you've enjoyed tonight. Remember, everybody does do this in their free time, all on dummy cakes, okay? On dummy cakes, it's just demos about products. Nobody's eating the product. So just watch and learn. And I will see you on Thursday. Thank you, Marion, for coming along.
Absolute pleasure. Thank
Any
you
questions,
all.
John?
Thank
Is
you.
anything? No? Bye-bye.
Bye.